And speaking of Stadia, there was a big announcement inside of that video on Thursday. For all D&D fans, this is a moment you've been waiting for, because the CEO of Larien Studios, Swen Vincke, is here with the creative franchise director of D&D to show us the new trailer for Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my God, guys, this was a big surprise inside of the Stadia announcement. You know, Larien, which is known for many originals and such amazing games, teaming up with Wizards for D&D. First of all, I just have to ask you guys, how did this come together?
So after Divinity Original Sin 1, I went to Wizards and I asked them, can we have the license for Baldur's Gate 3? And they didn't say yes, but we had a very long conversation about what our vision would be for the game and what we would want to make with it. And then as we were making Divinity Original Sin 2, I suddenly got a call from Nathan Stewart, who is the head of Dungeons & Dragons, and he said, you need to fly over to Seattle right now. We're going to have dinner. And so during dinner, he gave me a big stack of papers which had Baldur's Gate 3 on top of it. He says, I want to present this to the board, and you have to tell me that you still want to do it. And I said, of course I still want to do it. And then here we are.
I mean, it's a franchise that we've all wanted to see come back. Why did it take so long?
I think it's about finding the right partner.
Okay.
That we really, I think, in Larien have found a studio that shares a lot of our core storytelling approach and for gameplay, of really delivering to Dungeons & Dragons fans the open-ended storytelling that they're looking for in a role-playing game.
Yeah, no, it's been a long wait, but it was great to see that sort of first trailer that teased it out. Now, we should talk about Stadia, because this game is also coming to PC, but you obviously were announced as part of Stadia. So tell us about that relationship with Phil and the team at Google. How does that all kind of link together?
So we actually discovered that Stadia was a thing last year, here, literally, in this building.
Okay.
And
well, that was well before I found out about it, so you kept the secret safe.
So we reached out to them, and then we started chatting. And it turned out that a bunch of features that were on our roadmap were actually on the roadmap of Stadia also. Because we make big RPGs that you can play for a long time, that you can play together with friends.
Yep.
And one of the problems that you have is, where are you, right? Are you behind your PC? Then you can play, but if you're not behind your PC, can you still play the same game? And so with Stadia, if I can send a link to you and you can instantly be in there, that is a very big thing for us. So we hope that we're going to see much more people play the game in multiplayer as a result of that.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about some of the things we saw in the trailer. First of all, there are the Mind Flayers. Tell us a bit about them.
So Mind Flayers, that's what you see the unfortunate Flaming Fist Knight transform into.
Yes.
They are essentially a sort of extra-dimensional threat that's invading the world of Baldur's Gate. And what we see is the warrior undergoing the process of ceramorphosis, which is, that's how you take some innocent, hapless person and change them into a Mind Flayer.
Yes.
But it's much more than just a physical transformation, which you see in like a lovely, beautiful detail in the trailer, but it's also a spiritual and sort of intellectual transformation. That the Mind Flayer doesn't just take over the person's body, it actually annihilates their soul and replaces it with the soul of a Mind Flayer. So it is a complete sort of existential transformation.
And you're going to, I guess, build sort of a team of heroes to take on these guys?
Well, we're not giving any details on the story yet. Like, this is not the start of the game.
Okay.
But you're going to have to deal with them, and they are obviously a very big threat to the city, but also to you personally.
And so tell us, you know, from a gameplay perspective, you guys are certainly known for a certain style of game. Should we expect the same, but kind of skin for Baldur's Gate, or a different approach, or what should we expect?
So this is a Dungeons & Dragons game, first and foremost. So we took the player handbook, we transformed that into a video game. We looked at what worked. We looked at what was missing, because if you play the tabletop game, you have a game master that does a lot of the work. So we had to add systems on top of it to make it work in a video game.
Yeah.
You can expect a game that is that's similar to the previous games. That's very driven by player agency, by you making decisions, and then the world actually reacting to that. So our ideal goal is that if you play and you talk to a friend, you have two different stories, because you made decisions that were different from your friend's decisions, and it goes in different directions.
So same engine, but kind of building in a Baldur's Gate world? Is that how you're looking at it, or D&D world?
No, this is like a next version of our engine, so that we've been working on for quite some time. The visual tone, visual identity is very different, which is what we wanted to show in the teaser trailer also. So I think people will be surprised when they're going to see the actual gameplay.
Let's talk a bit about sort of the city and the world that we're going to sort of be in. What can you tell us about that?
So Baldur's Gate, we kind of think of it It's one of our most important cities in Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah.
Obviously has a great legacy in gaming. We're actually releasing in the tabletop side. We have a new campaign we're releasing in September, September 17th.
Okay.
We're showing you a prequel to the Baldur's Gate 3 story.
Yeah.
You can play through in the tabletop campaign, levels 1 to 13 in D&D 5th edition. And the product also includes a complete gazetteer of the city. So that's where you can go to catch up on the lore, see which characters are still present. And really, for us, what I love about Baldur's Gate as a city is it's essentially a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's a place where money is really all that matters. The divide between the upper city and the lower city, even the Flaming Fist knight that you see staggering around the trailer, they're sort of the police force, but they're paid for by the wealthy citizens of the city to sort of police the poorer citizens. So there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of, I think, what's been exciting is seeing how Larien's been leaning into that. And obviously you can't talk about story spoilers, but it's been the kind of thing when I'm doing reviews of the story they're pitching and approving it, it's like, I wish I didn't have to prove this so I could play it and like learn all these secrets in real time playing the game. So
this is such a huge project, I'm sure, for the team too. Are you guys growing to do this, or is this taking over the studio now?
Yeah, we've grown a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly taken over the studio, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When we made Original Sin 2, we were about 100 people, so now there's almost 300 people working on it.
Oh my
so
God.
It's a much
This
bigger.
is insane. Wow.
It's a very big project for us. Like, for us, it's also our next step in our evolution. So a lot of the guys on the team and the girls on the team are big fans of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They've been playing forever. For a lot of them, Baldur's Gate was their first RPG. So I think that, it was very easy to motivate people to work on this one.
Yeah, no, well, I can't wait to hear more about it. I know we sort of, all we get is that trailer, no gameplay yet, right? And any sense of when it's coming out?
People have been waiting for it for a long time, so we're going to take our time for
Like
it.
20 years. It's
so it has to be what people want it to be. It has to be good. So as long as it's not good, we were not going to release it.
No,
but I think it'll be good.
Again, the fact that you guys are such a credible developer, and that's what I love about what Wizards has done overall with D&D and Magic. And it's just like you guys are partnering with amazing developers, making some really compelling, awesome experiences. And as you said, just the concept of this is something that people get excited about. So we know when the time is right, hopefully we'll see some gameplay and get a good sense of what you guys are working on. But it's awesome to see that the game is coming. And it'll come to Stadia, and it'll also come, you're just saying, to kind of PC. We haven't said which stores, but it'll basically be available.
So it'll be available pretty much everywhere on PC.
Okay.
And obviously it's coming to Stadia also.
Yeah.
So that's the platforms that were currently announced.
Awesome. All right. Well, those will keep you busy enough, I'm sure, getting it all ready. But it's awesome announcement, a great tease. And thank you guys for coming by to give us a little bit more insight into all things Baldur's Gate 3. All right. Well, YouTube Live at E3 is going to be continuing. As you know, yesterday, EA...